If you've been teaching yoga for a while now and you're feeling burnt out and uninspired to truly show up for your students, then stick around. Today I'm sharing tips on how to reignite your teaching flame and reconnect to the passion that you cultivated during your first YTT. So firstly, if you are watching this before April 11th, 2022, then make sure you pause this video right now and check out the description below to sign up for my free live workshop. And we'll uncover how to set healthy boundaries to avoid or overcome yoga teacher burnout and re-inspire your passion for teaching. We're going to go a lot deeper than what I have to share with you today, but today I do have 5 tips to help get you started. So be sure to sign up for that training. If you are catching this after April 11th, it's all good. I'll still leave an option for you to sign up and catch the replay. And if you are new to me, welcome. My name's Ali Temple. I'm an international yoga and meditation teacher, retreat leader, and yoga teacher mentor. I have been teaching yoga for over 8 years and coaching and mentoring teachers for over 4 years now. I started teaching in Vancouver, Canada, and I've taught in many cities across the US, and more recently was the lead teacher and yoga teacher development manager at 3 top studios in Los Angeles. In 2020, I decided to keep going with the virtual world. We were all online, and I saw an opportunity to live out my own dreams, to travel the world and work remotely. So that's when I launched my own business. I've spent the time since then living in Bali and Mexico, where I currently am right now, and I could not be happier living out my dream in tropical destinations and still getting to stay connected to you and support you to reach your own teaching goals and dreams. So if we're not already connected on Instagram, pop over there, find me, say hello, pop into my DMs. It's at Ali Temple Yoga. You'll see a little bit more of my travels there as well. And please be sure to subscribe to this channel. It helps me reach more teachers like you with tips and inspiration to help you reach your teaching dreams. So first off, let me share a little bit about why I'm passionate about supporting you with getting through yoga teacher burnout and striking a balance. If you haven't already guessed it, I have dealt with burnout several times before, both with teaching yoga full-time and when I've been juggling full-time jobs and teaching yoga, doing the yoga hustle in the evenings and weekends. I also know exactly what it feels like to fall into a teaching rut or slump and lose the inspiration that we first initially had when we signed up for teacher training. Now here's something you probably already know, but I find it important to keep this in mind. A little bit of real talk for you. When we depend on teaching yoga to make a living and support ourselves financially, our relationship with yoga changes. This does not necessarily need to be a bad thing, but it is something that happens. It's really with any profession, when you start to offer something that you're passionate about and you love, and your paychecks depend on it, things start to shift. So let's take a moment here. Think back to your first YTT. It may not have been that long ago, but remember how connected and inspired and motivated you felt. You felt empowered and supported. Then you get out on your own and you ride that wave for a while of connection and feeling that empowerment and inspiration. But at a certain point, you realize that teaching yoga is hard. Without that support and guidance of your peers and your teachers from YTT, it can be really easy to feel overwhelmed, lost, or just uninspired as a yoga teacher. So we need to find ways to stay accountable, to continue expanding and growing outside of your comfort zone so that you don't fall into a teaching slump and become one of those yoga teachers who just sounds like they're repeating a script over and over again. You want to show up for your students and inspire them the same way that you felt inspired when you started practicing yoga. And likely that's the reason why you got into teaching yoga in the first place, right? So let's jump into 5 tips that you can do today to help shift this around. The number 1 tip is to join a community. So we all need that connection and inspiration from our peers, just like what we had in YTT or any other trainings that you've done. This can be something that you join an online yoga teachers group or something in person. But join a group of like-minded yoga teachers so that you can support and feed off of each other. My number 2 tip is to find a mentor who is doing something that you want to be doing, someone that you find inspiring, who can help keep you feeling empowered to go after your goals. You know, we all know that there's no shortage of yoga teachers out there, especially in the online space. So if you haven't already found a mentor or someone that you feel connected to and inspired by, start looking. You'll find someone, and this is going to be a game changer for you. So the 3rd tip I have for you today is to plan a workshop. I've talked about this in some of my past videos. In fact, if you're curious on how to choose a workshop topic, I'll leave a link for you to check out that video that I did a while back. But offering a workshop or a specialized yoga event that you can really base around something that you feel really called to share, something that complements yoga, that you are personally really interested in and want to share with your students, it'll work both ways, where they'll get inspired by you and you'll get re-inspired by them, rather than, especially if you're just teaching studio classes or Zoom classes. It's time to shake it up a bit. This is also going to help you financially get out of that rut of whether you're teaching a bunch of free classes or only a bunch of studio classes and you want to commit to creating a sustainable business with teaching yoga. Number 4 is to take that time and effort to connect with your students before and after your classes. I've talked about this one before as well. Whether you're teaching online or in person, show up and chat with your students. Talk about what they're going through, ask them questions, make those personal connections, because then when you're teaching yoga, you'll feel more connected to them and inspired to support them on their own journey as well. And my final tip for you today to help you feel re-inspired is to take some time, sit down and write out your big teaching dreams and goals. No matter how big they are and how far off they might feel, write them down. If you've already done this, then again, take some time, sit down and revisit them. Think about what you need to do to get there and just envision yourself in that place. What does it feel like? What does it look like? Embody yourself in that position, whether it's leading a sold-out yoga retreat in a tropical destination, or offering your own yoga teacher training in the future, or starting your own online yoga business. Whatever it might be, write it down, get really clear on that goal, and envision yourself in that place. If this is something that you feel a little bit less comfortable with, you might want to take some time and do some self-inquiry. I do have a video on that as well. I'll leave a card somewhere up there so that you can check that video out after too. So that's really it for me today. Those are the tips I have to help you re-inspire your teaching flame and get that passion going again to teach. I know what it's like to be in that position. I've been there so many times before. So that's why I'm offering this free workshop, free training for you to join me live. If you are catching this before April 11th, make sure you sign up in the description below. And of course, the option to catch the replay will be there as well. So still sign yourself up for that. We'll dive much deeper into this topic and more. And that's it from me today. I'll see you in the next video.